Hi, welcome to podcast 26 of the Ladies Edition.
Good evening.
How's it going?
It's going really good, other than I had technical difficulties earlier on, which...
It's like our show just sometimes is shambles before the show. And then we get on and it just like goes. It's all good.
Yeah, our moments are probably fairly equal. But hopefully we have a backup plan if something fails. So just be patient with us once again.
We will keep it going and rolling here. Yeah. Our show today is kind of like a little bit of a mishmash. Like we kind of went all over the place with it this week, which is something different. Usually we kind of have like a set theme that we drive with and stick to, but this week we bounce around a little bit, but lots of amazing ladies are going to join us tonight. So I'm excited to talk to them from coast to coast and hear what they have to say.
Definitely looking forward to some of the conversations.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Before we bring in our first guest, a few weeks ago, TPC happened. We didn't really have a show after TPC, so we haven't really had a chance to highlight just some fantastic bowling that happened with everybody at the WCBT event in Sherwood Park. But it started with Alyssa winning the Ladies Invitational, which was fantastic. I know we tried to get her on the show tonight to have her come on and talk. She's had quite a few second place finishes in a variety of different tournaments. And then with this one being that kind of breakthrough win, we were excited to have a chance to talk to her. She just had league tonight, so she wasn't able to join us, but congratulations to her.
It's a pretty big accomplishment. I know that you've been a Ladies Invitational winner. I've actually been a Ladies Invitational winner.
Look at that.
But like more importantly, like you are a like open invitational winner, and you did not put that on the. You did not.
No, I conveniently left that off the agenda.
I know, but of course, we're very, very proud of you, and that's a massive accomplishment. I know it's been talked about on a previous podcast, but it's a massive accomplishment to be the only female who's ever done it so far. And I think Katie, humbly, you definitely earned it, and it paves the way for future females.
Yeah, hopefully next year we have like maybe more women. Like it can be done. We can go in and we can take on the men and see what happens. So hopefully some more women next year maybe want to try it out too.
So I was not at TPC, but what was your theme song, your walk-in song?
Oh, I went with Cotton Eye Joe again.
Again?
It's my classic. I think I ventured away from it once and I did not do very well that year. I was like, well, we have to go back to Cotton Eye Joe.
We're going to just keep going.
It's a real banger. It just like builds. Dexter asked me when we were walking out, he's like, is this the techno version? I was like, no, this is just how this song slaps. Like it's a banger.
I love it. So that's your song. That's your song.
It's my go-to. But
congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And then in the main event, we had 22 ladies participate. It was a little bit down this year from what we had in previous years, but still 38 shifts thrown with 8 ladies averaging over 250. I was not one of those ladies that averaged over 250. I threw 3 shifts under 250, and it was great. I loved that.
What was the difference? You think you just couldn't get it rolling?
Yeah, it was just I played 24 games of letters and corners and hit-ins and just never really found my stride of what I found in the Invitational where I could run some stuff together. Just never got it going in the main event. So
that's why this game is so humbling.
It's so finicky.
Yeah.
And it was so great because I'm like, Thursday night it worked. And then I went into Friday being like, I got this. Thursday was so good. And then it wasn't. But that's why we keep coming back, because
that's exactly it.
We're just like, well, maybe the next 8 games will be better. That's what I kept telling myself. I'm like, I usually only 2 shift. Why not throw a third one? It's got to be better. No, it was worse. So.
Yeah, well, and I think too, like if you're starting to make cuts, you expect that from yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big part of it. But it can be a grind at times.
It can be. But we did have 3 ladies make the cut. So that was fantastic. Jenna qualified 25th with a 22:13. It's wild that a 2200 didn't make it into the first round bye. So it just goes to show the caliber of talent that's coming out. And McKay 26 with a 2192. And then Julia Robko made her first cut with a 2178, finishing 31st. So
very nice.
None of them made it past the play-in round, but they played fantastic all weekend. So
yeah, that's amazing. They got to put their shirts on the next day, and
yeah, coming out on a Sunday is always different. Like it's just a different feeling, different.
Yeah,
so,
very true.
It makes it challenging, but that's kind of like the TPC. I know they kind of wrapped it up already, so we just wanted to give a shout out to some of those ladies who played fantastic over the weekend before we got going on the next thing. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we will bring in our first guest. Most people, I'm sure, will recognize her. She has been around many events for many, many years. So we'll bring her in. Hello, Lori.
Hi.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course.
It's long overdue.
Yes. So way back a long time ago, Tracy sent me a picture that had all of the ladies double crown winners in Canada, and your name obviously is on that list. And we've been trying to slowly pick away at getting all of them on throughout our shows when there's not a million other things happening in the bowling season. But we've been wanting to bring you in and talk about your career because it goes a lot farther than just a couple singles titles for sure.
Yep.
So let's talk about it a little bit. So Double Crown winner in 1987 and then in 1988. If I recall, there might only be 13 people on the Double Crown. I need to check that, but I feel like
12 or 13, yeah.
It is a rare elite group, Lori, that you are part of. So congratulations. National Open.
Lots of good bowlers, man. Yeah.
Yes, it's true. And so many memories, I'm sure. National Open, 13 times, 10 on the ladies team, 1 on the mixed team, 2 as a single. You've had 3 golds, 2 team and 1 single, 1 silver on the team, and you've had 3 all-stars also, which is not an easy feat. So congratulations. And then National Masters 14 times. You've been on 10 teams, 4 as singles, and then again achieved the 1 single there. You've had 4 bronze on 2 teams and 2 singles. Your resume is quite impressive. I love spending time on the resume, Lori, and bragging about people's accomplishments. You've been in the game a very, very long time. I'm sure you've mentored a lot of people. You've led the way for many of us in the country, not only in your home province of BC. High league average of 270, high single of 433. You're still looking for your perfect game. You had your 433, it says, at National Opens in 1985. That was the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, God.
High 4 game, 1329. High 8 game of 2583. That gives me goosebumps. That's a massive
320, 322
for 8 games. You're on an elite list of people who have participated at TSN. You've done that twice. You are in the top 100 bowlers of Canada list. You've had 7 400s in your tenure of playing. Man, like that's your bowling resume. You have a family.
Like the thing that kills me is that like that's all happening with a 20-year hiatus in there because you took 20 years off.
Yeah.
For a family.
Yeah. That was When you come back after, taking a hiatus, it's a little harder to get back into the swing of it. But it's you're getting there, and I'm still making teams, so I'm quite happy that I'm able to still participate and still bowl, well enough to make a team. And you kind of get when you come back, it's nervous. You're nervous because you know what you could have done or what you could have been or could be. or what you've done, right? And it's like, oh man, but it's good though, because I love the game. I love it. And I love to, still meet other, new people, the new ones, the young ones that are coming up and, up and coming. And, so it's quite a different era to begin with. Yeah.
So that was one of my questions that I had was when you came back from such a long break, like I took a break from competitive bowling, but it was only like 4 or 5 years. But coming back after that long, like, did you have to spend extra time at the lanes practicing? Did you kind of slowly, with grace, ease yourself back into it?
I had to work out first because I threw a ball and I go, oh my God, everything just like the whole it just like seized up, and I'm going, okay, now I need to work out first, like stretch and do that. I used to do that when I bowled. I'd do a stretch at the lanes and lean, stretch forward and all that. So when I came back, I didn't do that, and I go, oh my God, everything just hurt. So I just, I do a little stretching at home where you slide in your socks and all this, right? Yeah. So,
That's old school.
Yeah.
But it is more important, I guess, after you've left the game and as we're aging, we just have to do things a lot differently.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I don't get down as low as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I used to, oh my God, I used to just get right down low. Like Kelsey gets down low, right?
Yeah.
So I used to get down low like that. Now I can't, but it's like hard to get back up, right? I do have a few problems that way.
So what do you think, like in your game, this is not on our questionnaire, I'm going rogue a little bit here. What do you think outside of like getting low, like what's changed most in terms of your technique, Lori? And that would be one question. And then the second question would be mindset. Like, do you struggle to kind of get in the rhythm of mindset? Is it easier? Do you go back to a few things when you're at the top of your game?
Yeah. Mindset is back when I was really, really good. It was just, I'm in the zone. I don't even think about anything. I don't worry about the count or the scoreboard. I just, it's my turn to bowl. I'm focused. That's it. But now I don't look at the scoreboard, but I have to focus more. I have to clear my mind more because maybe somebody 2 lanes over just says something and then I throw and I'm going, oh, that's, it's definitely more focusing and in regards to the approach and everything, I have to use my my leg, my sliding leg. I don't get down. It's just a little, balance of your body and everything,
right. Yeah. So in a career that like has stretched so long, what's like the moments that stick out to you?
Oh, my very first nationals for YBC, my very first one, and my mom always being there when I bowled in Nanaimo for the singles, and then the highlight was 433 at nationals. Herman was the one that bowled the 450, and he was like on like 10 lanes over, but you could still hear everybody, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta, okay, I'm on my roll. This isn't, and then I didn't get it, but it was, it was so exciting and just lots of like I'm a very I like to meet people, and I'm very sociable, and I always want to be like remembered as not a mean bowler, like and with attitude or with why thinking, oh, that ball should, or that the lane should have given me a strike type of thing. I
Right.
just like to, it's me. I'm just here to represent BC and have fun, and I just want to be remembered like that. It's like I'm a happy-go-lucky person type of thing. So
That is very true. We've had lots of really great conversations over the years. Of just you're just optimal in terms of sportsmanship, but yet like fierce competition. But that friendship off the lanes actually is so critically important to the current game and to the future of our game.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to present yourself as a a good person, or somebody that that is welcoming to other. I on the lane. Okay, I'm competing. Off the lane, we'll have fun. We can drink. We can eat, do whatever, right? So and dance. Let me tell you, dance.
I do have memories of you dancing at nationals. I have seen that happen. 100%.
So, Lori, like if you obviously have been in the game so much and you've seen people, alongside you who have like the same type of experience, but for a younger bowler that's just coming into the game, coming out of YBC, what advice would you give another female playing our sport?
Okay. Usually just go frame for frame. I don't want them to think, okay, I'm going to get another strike, or or if I need another strike 3 lanes or 3 frames away, I go frame for frame, because you can't what's the word? Predict what you're going to do in that. And then have fun, it's a fun game. It's competitive, but you don't really need to be mad, you just have a good time and enjoy your friendships.
But so hard sometimes.
I know. I know.
I'm sitting here going, okay.
Okay.
It's really good advice, and I'm going to write that one down.
Okay. Yeah. But it's a competitive out there, and I mean the YBC at POCO are they're very good group of kids, and they're very friendly and encouraging, definitely encouraging. So if I see, like I was at the some of the summer schools for bowling, and all you can do is just give advice, like a friendly advice, and just more encouragement, and you've got this type of thing. It's some of them are a little bit growing, getting more competitive and everything, so it's like mine was like, okay, I'm out there. So
it's hard sometimes as you get that more competitive streak going to like control the emotions behind it as well, because sometimes especially when you're just becoming competitive or starting to get into that age group where you're like kind of coming into the adults, it's hard to differentiate the difference between like competitive and the emotion side of it.
We
definitely all have moments where we struggle with.
No kidding, right? Yeah. But I've had a few teary-eyed, moments, bad and good. So
yeah, I hear you on that. Maybe a nice segue in terms of you wanting to make sure that you had great contribution and adding value to the game. Tom Patterson just wrote a comment. I don't know if you caught it, but I'm going to read it. Lori is also full of giving back to the game. Her work with masters and the BC Youth School stand out. Lori does a wonderful job connecting with youth one-to-one. So like you're making great impact, Lori. I'm sure we get zillions of comments. Look back at the show, maybe rewatch it. And it'll make you feel super honored and respected in our game.
Oh, thanks.
So if we just maybe take another moment, maybe one or two more questions, maybe let's talk about, you've got lots of memories in the game. Maybe talk about one or two really memorable moments for you, Lori, that really stand out that you're most proud of.
Oh, I mean, competing against a lot of the women, they're awesome. So many way back when, they aren't bowling now. Claudina Lista was one of my major competitors. Bev Gigliak, but Meyer, I think Meyer was
Myers,
last,
yeah.
and Sandy. I mean, Chris Monchuk, you know, everybody very, very friendly and competitive and everything. But you know, you get everybody. I don't have any single one. I just, you know, I'm so happy to see them and then compete. And the one time, well, actually, one time was Chris was anchor and I was anchor. And I just come back and I'm going, oh my God, I don't know if I can beat Chris. I really don't know if I can beat Chris. And it was like, Chris would take it, I would take it. Chris would take it, I would take it. You know, it was just like that. And I'm just like, okay, now I need to go get a little bit, right? And more, you know, a little bit more grr in it, right? So, but I don't have any really outstanding ones. Like I just have, they're all good for me. I'm not a person that say, okay, in 1989, Game 5 at the National Opens, I can't tell you what I did. No way. I just like making all-star team. That is one of the highlights too. So
throughout all the years, have you kept all of your awards and accolades and do you have them up? Like where are they in your home?
I did have them up in a room. They were all on the wall. They were on the medals were on a pole. I just haven't got it set up one yet, but yeah, I know I tell Katie, I took me all last night. I thought I had the cue card with everything on them. I couldn't find it. I took all last night to go through my books and make sure I had everything for you guys. It was like, oh, I go. And then I started reading they get newspapers from the Burnaby in there. So I was reading those and I go, oh my God, yeah, okay, yeah, that happened, you know, and oh yeah.
So in a way you had a beautiful night, right? Like you could go back and just kind of do some reflection and that always feels, I think, really great.
Yeah. And I'm going, oh, I did that. And like some things you can't remember. It's like, oh my God.
We've had a few guests say that when they've gone back to try to get us that resume so we have some like things to read out. They're like, there was things I forgot about and like a little trip down memory lane, which is always nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought I only had like a few 400s but I had more and you know, it's like, yeah, that elusive 450, man, I tell you.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, my mom had one. And so it's like every time I get close, I go, yes, Mom.
This is the time.
Yeah.
And this year, are you playing Open Masters? What's the plan?
I'm going to be trying out in January for the Open. Mm-hmm. And the Masters is right now I'm doing good. So I've done well for 2 games, you know, so or 2 tournaments. I mean,
2 tournaments. Amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to add some more numbers to that nationals.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, wishing you all the best for the rest of your season. And thank you so much for joining us tonight to kind of go down memory lane and chat a little bit about your fantastic and amazing career.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Lori.
Yeah. It was fun. Nervous, but fun.
Tell everybody, it's super easy. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah. Thanks, Lori. See you later.
Okay. Bye.
Good night.
We'll cut her off a little bit. Oops. Yeah. Anybody who's thinking that they want to come on the podcast, it's not as nerve-wracking once you get on here as you think it is. No, all we do is talk you up. We
Yeah,
Hi, people.
they settle you in. I think
Yeah.
it happens quite quickly too, like
Yeah.
5-10 seconds and the nerves are gone.
100%. Well, as we were talking to Lori about her amazing accomplishments, some of which happened at the Open, one of our provinces has already qualified one of their Open teams for nationals. Like, it feels
weird.
wild that we're already at that time of year that we have an Open team ready to go to nationals. So we are going to bring them in and chat with them a little bit. Hello, Brooke and Joanne.
Hey guys.
Hi, ladies.
So, for those of you who don't know, this is Joanne Walsh and Brooke King. They are from the Newfoundland Ladies Open team that has qualified last month to go to nationals in Regina. And you guys are the first in the country to say you're going to Regina.
Yeah, it is. It's so wild that it's kind of already like come and gone so quickly, I think.
And now the wait. Like there's a long wait to the next step, right?
Yeah. No, it feels good to kind of like relax for a little bit and kind of like enjoy the rest of the year open wise for sure.
Right.
Well, let's introduce the team and then we'll kind of get into like how you guys qualified and how you're feeling. So rest of the Newfoundland Open Ladies team, Melissa Manor, Megan Gallicano, Katie Wells, Nicole Petty, and then yourself, Joanne Walsh and Brooke. So Joanne, you qualified over 16 games, averaged 243, shot a 38.84. And Brooke, you qualified 6, just right behind her, 38.58, just pins away, 241 average. So Joanne, maybe let's talk a little bit about what's been happening for you. This is, I'm sure you're pretty excited about making this team with the ladies.
Actually, I've been away from bowling for a long time competitively. I'm multi-sport, so I dabble in I'm a fantastic softball player, or was, I should say, and then I really enjoy my golf. Just a few years ago, I tore my maximus glutamus, so I had to have surgery to have it repaired. So this is the first time that I've actually really competed. Like a couple years ago, I did bowl masters, but I tried out for the seniors and made the seniors. At that point, that's as much as I felt I was able to do. But this year, I'm trying out for the ladies with the masters, and certainly I rolled off a month ago to try out for Team Newfoundland. And believe it or not, after day one of 8 games completed, I was down 186 pins, and I was 10th out of 13 bowlers. And then day 2, started out of the chutes and didn't look back. And I ended up on Sunday rolling a 265.6 average. And I went all day on Sunday. I never once hit that top 6 position. I just stayed in 8 the whole day. So if I rolled a 300, someone behind me rolled a 250, and I couldn't catch up, or so I thought. And then my last game, I threw a 309, and I went from, say, 8th to 4th position, and I never knew it actually. My husband, my 2 children, they're all bowlers as well. They were behind me, but I didn't want to know. I'm one of those people, you have more to fear in me than I fear in you, and what I don't know doesn't hurt me. And after I threw the score and I looked at my husband and he was crying, I'm like, did I? And I don't think I've ever cried in all my bowling years. And the water gates just opened and I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't get the words out because honestly, I bowl against the best of the best in Newfoundland here. And just the fact that I was able to go and just kind of give myself a run to have a chance to compete with these ladies, and they're all awesome to deal with and to bowl against and to bowl with, sorry. I don't know. I was wonderstruck, I guess. It was just such a great feeling. And believe it or not, I'm not over it yet. And I jokingly say that if I got to go away at the Nationals and just be a bench warmer, I'm okay with that. I'm with 5 of the best on the island. And plus, they know with me being on the pine, riding the pine, if I should have to, that they'll get a lot of support and accolades from me.
Amazing. Brooke, how was your weekend?
It was
kind of
interesting.
similar boat?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I definitely struggled the first day at St. Pat's for sure. Definitely punched a lot. I was disappointed after the first day, kind of figuring out where I was sitting, but like obviously knowing it's still there. The day at Paradise, it was good, just couldn't get really a string going. But I remained pretty steady, so I was like proud of how I kept together. I bowled on a lane with Joanne, and she was an absolute beast. From literally first ball to last ball, it was awesome. But yeah, no, going into the last frame, it was I think three of us kind of fighting for that last spot. And I had no idea. I really I'm super like emotional when I bowl, like inside. So I really didn't want to know kind of where I was sitting the whole day. And I remember seeing people kind of like calculating it out, and I had no idea. I knew I threw that first strike, and I didn't know that I had made the team. And then I came back and I went 5-hole, and I was like, oh, this is over. But anyways, figured out it was fine. And no, it was a hard weekend, but I'm happy where it all ended out.
Yeah. And Brooke, you were on the team last year, 2 years ago?
Yes. Yeah. Last year.
Last year. Was that your
Just last-
like? Okay, just last year. And then Joanne, when have you made open teams in Newfoundland before?
I have, yes, but like Lori that was speaking before, I had taken a hiatus as well.
For sure.
I competed on the ladies' teams, mixed teams. I've traveled with the Masters. But I've been a long time, probably will say in retirement, but not, if that makes
Right.
sense. I was bowling, but
Yeah.
not competitively.
Joanne, do you think like you obviously have a lot of experience and you're very competitive. You were involved in a lot of different sports, and the injury was a big one. The emotion that you were feeling when you finished and realized that you made the team, was it really coming from multiple places? Like you overcame this massive injury. Maybe you didn't necessarily expect to make this team, and you overcame that, and you were just so proud of yourself. Like, what was it?
Well, so I haven't really bowled. The last time the Masters were here in 22 or 21, I never bowled after that. I had taken 2 years off. So leading up to the roll off for the ladies, it was probably my sixth time actually rolling. I'm in a league on Monday nights at Plaza, but I made 5 out of the 9 weeks. So I really didn't have the endurance to be able, I didn't feel I had the endurance. So I went in with the mindset that if nothing else comes of this, at least it's a good practice leading up to the other events that were due to happen, like the Masters and just rolling in league and stuff like that. So the worst case scenario for me is that it would help me build up my endurance, because I didn't know how the leg would hand up with the sliding. I get down low. And so certainly I went in with no expectations. I have an amazing attitude, whether I win, lose, or draw, but I think that carried me through. I think that when I was able to pull it off, it wasn't that I was really happy with myself, but it came from all avenues, because everybody loves to win and nobody likes to lose, certainly, but I'm a graceful winner and a graceful loser. So that day when I did actually, I could take that deep breath because I had qualified, the room just started spinning, and that's the first time ever in my life that anything like that has happened. That normally I could just take a deep breath and walk it off, but I got to tell you, I'm still reeling from it. It's just inside, it's ready to explode, because it's probably, again, and it goes to the girls that I'm competing with. They're top of the line, and some of them are just have bigger and more accomplishments than I could ever wish and hope for. And that's not saying that I won't have them, but just knowing I'm bowling alongside of these girls. And I think when the team was unveiled, or revealed, I should say, I couldn't believe that my name was even on that piece of paper with the other 5 ladies.
You know what I love about this? I love just the passion that I'm feeling like in your voice, and it's such like an encouragement when the game can be like a true struggle, Joanne, and you're just like reinforcing. Sometimes we get bogged down. I know specifically I'm probably in that moment right now where I'm like, oh, do I keep going? Do I not keep going? You know, am I tired? Am I not tired? But to like hear the passion and how, oh, it's like your door's opening in your background. Do you have an animal? Dog?
Yes, I'm still on. Yeah,
You got a ghost?
I do. Yeah, I have a black lab, but I thought she might open it. She didn't.
Oh, cute. What I just want to kind of talk about, I always like to pick at little things like this because I just feel like our audience, this is exactly why Katie, 26 episodes, came and said, we're starting a podcast that was dedicated to empowering and coaching and working with women and empowering each other and supporting each other. And we've been able to reach so many people from across the country, a lot of Newfoundland interviews. But today, like, I just thank you for talking so candidly and open, because there are women in this sport that struggle with the game all the time in moments. We have peaks and valleys. And just to hear that, Joanne, for me, it resonates. So thank you.
So as you guys are getting ready for Open, you have a bit of a wait ahead of you with multiple months of waiting for other teams to qualify and stuff. Are your teams planning anything to like get together, do practices? Like what kind of vibe does the team have right now?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all just still so excited, really, that like we're done provincials, like the team is made. We're kind of still on that high, I feel. But I think now kind of looking towards nationals, we're really kind of doing activities, really just kind of chilling out through the year. But I think we are going to get practices on the go pretty soon. Just, yeah, kind of casual throwing balls for now. But yeah, we're definitely still kind of like on a little bit of a high for sure.
Yeah. I know that typically your teams generally will do things together throughout because it is such a long wait. And I think that's one of the reasons why they have in the past few years been so successful at nationals. The team just every year, it doesn't really matter who the 6 ladies are that are on it. It just has this gel and vibe to it that you can just see on the lane how everybody's working together. And my puppy back there. And just keeps everybody going. But in speaking about your team, I messaged the other members of your team earlier this week after you had both agreed to be on to play kind of just a little game with you and see how well you know the players on your team of things that they would say. So,
Okay.
So these are things you would probably hear them say calmly or not so calmly on the lanes. And you have to just decide which one it would be.
Okay.
So the first one is you can't win them all. Who on your team do you
Megan.
think said you can't win them all?
Megan?
Joanne, do you have a guess?
Megan.
It is not Megan. That was Katie Wells. Katie
Okay.
Wells, who qualified third, averaged 256. So
Sorry, Katie.
Sorry.
I'll get to
let's see another one. Strike, spare, 15. She was very unsure whether to put this one in or not.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Not Nicole. This is Melissa.
Yeah.
In her analytical thinking of this is the game plan. Strike, spare, 15. But also just want to say a shout out to Megan or to Melissa when she was qualifying through her first ever 2200. She was just hoping to get 2100 at qualifying and completely passed it.
Yeah.
And through 2200 ended up winning the trials. So congratulations.
Yeah, she was awesome.
All right. You guys are not doing very well so far.
No.
You might need to have some more team bonding. Bombs AF.
Megan.
Do you agree with that? You might say too. This one was definitely one that Megan submitted. Megan had a couple others that were some choice words, but who goes?
Oh my
Katie.
goodness. Katie, and then Katie.
Is Katie. Yeah. Every time I read these, like even as they were submitting them, I was reading them in a Newfoundland accent as well.
Yeah.
So- Oh, this one. Which one of your teammates was unable to provide me with a quote and put, "I require another business day"?
Manor?
Not Manor. This one
have no
was Nicole. She told me,
We're
"I
both
think I
Nicole.
require another business day," and I gave her till midday today and never heard back from her. Throwing you under the bus, Nicole. Sorry. We have a couple left. That was a big girl when you throw a really crunchy strike.
That
Megan?
is Megan.
Megan, 100%.
We got our first one or our second one.
2 left. Heave it out of ya.
Where'd I go?
Manor? No, I don't know.
This one was Manor.
Oh, okay.
You're on a
Okay.
win. Like you're on a streak here, Nicole. Or not Nicole. Sorry, Brooke. All right, and the last one. We'll spin it just for the sake of spinning it. But Honeyball, baby doll.
Honey balls, baby dolls.
I love that.
So this one I had submitted by one of your teammates, but I also heard a story that Joanne, this will be you yelling Honeyball, baby doll at nationals.
It will indeed. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of, just a bit of insight to that Honeyball baby doll. My son competed at the Youth Challenge back a few years ago in Calgary. And they set a record for Canada for the youth bowlers. They went 16-0. They won the gold medal and certainly made history, we'll say it. But every time he got up, it was like, Honeyball, baby doll, throw it at you. What is good? So I have all these different sayings, and certainly the Honeyball baby doll seems like all across Canada, everybody's after catching on now. So we went to a tournament the weekend. My daughter bowled in the Youth Challenge Provincials in Corner Brook, and I didn't have to say it because when I was listening, there was other parents around me saying it. It was so cool.
It's caught on.
I'm sensing a merch opportunity here.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Some t-shirts need to be made.
Yeah.
My daughter has some friends up in Western Canada, and they said that they're all using my sayings. I was like, well, you better put them away when I get the nationals.
Yeah. They belong to Newfoundland. Every other province, no, they belong to Newfoundland now.
The best saying yet is get out and walk your dog when you throw a strike. Get out and walk your dog.
Well, I can't wait to hear. Hopefully, we'll be at nationals with you guys, and can't wait to hear some of these sayings come out. But congratulations to you both on a hard fought, it sounds like, qualifying to make the team with a fantastic group of ladies out of Newfoundland, and can't wait to see what you guys do on the lanes in Regina.
Absolutely. Thanks
so
for having
much.
us. It was
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations,
Thank you so
ladies.
much.
Thanks.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.
Take care.
Oh, what was that? Sorry, Joanne. I cut you off. I'm on a roll
Hopefully
today.
you don't get too much more snow.
Yeah, hopefully our
We'll take
snow
your
in
snow.
Alberta
You
is
have our
done.
rain.
Fair. See you later.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
All right. I always loved like hanging out with the Newfoundlanders at
I just my
nationals, 'cause
cheeks
they're
hurt
just-
always when I'm with
you can't help but just be happy.
Yeah.
Like even when they just say something completely normal, it just like it makes me happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But this weekend coming up is the next stop on the WCBT tour. So it made perfect sense for us to ask our next guest to join us. Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Jennifer and Amanda Davini, all the way from Winnipeg.
Yep.
How's it going?
Are we in the lanes right now?
We are, yes.
Amazing. Bowling
Were you
league
guys-
or not?
Yes, we both bowl Wednesday night league here.
Okay.
How is
amazing.
bowling going?
I'd rather be on the podcast than bowling.
Oh, well, then
Awesome.
you're welcome.
We are you too.
No,
Yeah. Yeah, and I wasn't bowling tonight. I was working on some back end stuff for the Open. So no bowling for me and not talkable bowling for Jennifer, I guess.
League's
all right.
not always easy,
Yeah.
right? It's
No.
just to keep the body moving.
Yeah. And especially
Exactly.
when you have such a big event coming up literally this weekend, I'm sure it's not always easy to keep your mind focused on playing your 3 or 4 games of league when you're like, what are all the things that need to be done before everybody flies in
Yeah.
starting tomorrow? So how
It's our-
are plans going for it?
I'd say they're pretty good. I think we almost have everything ready to go. It's a few last minute details like live stream, like all the live stream that we have to set up for cameras tonight after league.
Right.
Yeah. And then just like the last minute push to try and convince the people to sign up for Last Man Standing. Announce, like, I think both boarding shifts are now officially full, right?
Yeah.
So
Both
we have a
morning
quick
shifts are
question?
now full.
Help. What is the last man standing?
Last Man Standing is our Thursday event. So it runs Thursday, 7 o'clock. And depending if we're hoping to push to 24. Last year we were at 32, but we can run the event with 24 pretty samely. But basically after every so many games, there's a cut. So after 3 games, we cut 8 people. And then after 2 more games, we cut some more people. And then basically you're just trying to survive that cut line to be the last
Every
one
time.
standing.
Cool concept.
It is a cool
You
event.
guys sound very calm about the upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we've been-
everything's under control. You sound super calm.
I mean,
This
like,
is go ahead, sorry.
Manitoba Open 1.0, we basically grew up around. Like we were young children running around, but also helping and doing things. So it coming back, it kind of just felt like we've always done it. So and we also have like a great group of people. Like we have a great committee with like, as we were talking about, trying to live up to Aaron Alblas's guest appearance on the other podcasts. So you got like Aaron Alblas, we got Dan Sim, our parents, my husband, her fiance. We have just a great group of people, and like we have a team of 19, or I think it's up to like 23 volunteers that are coming out this weekend to help me and us like do little tasks here and there. So
There's also a lot of great women on our committee, like
Oh, for
Karen
sure.
Armstrong, Sandy Anderson, Jennifer Duncan,
Krista Purdy.
Krista Purdy.
Yeah, like just a lot of people
A lot
that
of strong women and like hard focused women that were as like stressed as an eventful like this can be. We have all of each other to rely on whenever something goes wrong.
For sure. And this is year 3 of Winnipeg Open 2.0, right? Year 3?
for
Amazing.
us, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And something like
And-
I've learned through like growth and self-care is like delegation and not being afraid to like hand over all those stressful tasks to the people that are willing to help you. So that's also been helping with my stress level. I don't know about probably your stress level, the combined family stress level. The willingness to like, people are willing to help. It might not be like as anal or perfect as my crazy mind wants it to be, but you kind of have to draw the line of done, good enough, perfect, right? Like not everything needs to be perfect. Not everything's going to be perfect. So
100%.
It is very true.
So are you playing this weekend as well?
Yes.
Amanda, you didn't look so sure of that. You looked a little like,
Look at your sister.
well, maybe.
right now I'm planning on playing Thursday shift just because that shift was kind of designed for us proprietors to try and get it out of the way. And then if needed, / if I'm feeling up to it, I'm going to play the second shift probably, I think Saturday morning, but it all depends on how the body and mind are feeling after
You're
going.
only gonna need one shift. My only shift is Friday morning.
That's
the right
right.
attitude for sure.
One shift. That's how we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we definitely obviously you guys are doing a lot with running the event, but we also wanted to talk to you about bowling and like your own careers of bowling. Like Jennifer, you've had a lot of success with masters in the last little while. Last year, Amanda, you were coaching the mixed team for the Open, but then this year, like Pro League, you're back on the lanes and like came off the bench firing. How has this season been going, like mindset wise, playing wise?
Do you want to start? You want me to start? I started the year off with a bit of a struggle. I was dealing with a lot of injuries, like injuries that I didn't really deal with that came back on me. My knee and my hip were out of place. I started working on those a little bit more. Physiotherapy has been helping a lot. I started my master season with my worst 8 games ever, and then I backed it up with my best 8 ever. So it's on a high roll, but it's definitely
that
a roller
fickle
coaster.
game again. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like great, and sometimes it's like, why do I do this?
It was actually one of my dad's suggestions. He told me, it was right before going out to TPC. He was like, just go out to TPC, have no expectations, have fun, remind yourself why you love the game, remind yourself why you go out to these cash tournaments. It's not really for the cash for me. It's more because of the love of the game and the love of the community and the people. And that's what I did. And then I came back, and Masters was a great tournament.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. 23-31. Yeah.
That's
I
a
love that for
fantastic
you.
score. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Amanda, how's your season going?
Season's been doing well. Like, I'm averaging the highest I've ever averaged Friday night wise. Like, I took a year off competing last year and just focused on my mental side and the coaching side, obviously. So finally back into like trying to be in that competitive mindset atmosphere, but obviously it's some stepping stones to get past a lot of like self-doubt, all the self-deprecation, all those thoughts, and then also the whole like dealing with, like she said, expectations and managing them, right? Like, you grow up owning bowling alley, being a part of bowling, everyone's like, oh, you own a bowling alley, you should be good at this, right? So it's managing those expectations. And then it's also just like, I tend to do a lot of things. Like, I'm generally the one in the background running the events, running the center. So it's about, when I'm an athlete, I need to be an athlete. I can't be all those other things.
Which
And
it sounds
that's
like you're setting yourself up with having all of the people on your committee and having that crew behind you to back you so that you are able to put your athlete hat on, go compete, and then leave that other stuff kind of, I mean, it's probably easier said than done when you're in the moment trying to like not like think about all the other things, but setting yourself up for it.
Definitely been a process. And like this year, master, like Snowman, for example, I've been coming off the bench obviously really well with the right mindset of just like, because our Snowman core values, all that is all about like, we're there for the team, pressures of privilege, like all that stuff, and we all like really buy in and believe in it as a team. So it's really easy to like have that be the thought in my head and not have anything else around. Masters, I'm still struggling with recognizing the old thoughts and the old habits and then like trying to replace them, right? Like, because they're still there. It's just, how do I get rid of them? How do I replace them with the new, better thoughts?
Can you go back for a second just to what you said? Pressure's a privilege? Is that what you said?
Pressure is a privilege. Yeah. Not everyone gets the opportunity to be in those key situations, right? So if you change the mindset of having a privilege to be in that opportunity, it kind of takes away the thought of, what if I mess it up? Like, even if you do mess it up, you had the chance at it, right? Like, and
yeah, I've never heard that before, but I love that thing. I like that.
Well, and I think too, like both of you, there are a few bowlers in our bowling community across the country that are really voice what's happening for them in the game and in their personal life. And you both are involved in so many different things, family, business, high level competitors yourself, like personal things that are going on for you. And I love that. It kind of goes back to everything that this podcast stands for, and just the fact that you are open enough to share that with the bowling community. I think it enables others as well. So it's brave, it's bold, it's not easy to do, to like talk about some of those things, but I got to say, like, I pay attention to those things that you're talking about. Don't get emotional on me, because I'll get emotional. But because I'm super sensitive. I just think keep doing that when you feel comfortable doing that. There's no pressure to do it, but continue honestly to do that. I think it's going to enable you in your journey for whatever you're seeking, but know that you're helping others.
Yeah, it's good to be reminded of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to be very not open about my struggles and just kind of like suck it up and try and figure it out on my own. But as I opened up more about it, I found power in not only accepting it, but also from others, right? Like from the support system you have, and realizing you're not the only one thinking that way or feeling that way, or just support is a big thing. And like sport and competitive environments bring out the worst of our like self thoughts, right? Like you want to be the best and you're forced to compare yourself to others. But at the end of the day, sport is about like yourself and your own goals, and it's trying to take away from the comparison and like use it to build yourself up and each other up. And yeah, I'm babbling, but
no, you're not. It's it's a big message. And it's not babbling. It's a massive, this is a great forum to like talk about it if you feel, comfortable. But yeah, you should be really proud that you're in a place where you are right now. Stronger together, girl.
yeah.
So kind
Lucky
of
to have like the family aspect that like basically grown up, and like our family's always been very family orientated, but also like community orientated. Like people that have bowled here forever just become people that you care about and want to see succeed and do well.
Have you set some goals for this weekend of bowling wise? Like, is it just I want to make the cut, or have you set like a goal of numbers wise, or
You
I personally walked into every tournament this year saying no expectations of myself, because when I do put my expectations on myself or a number in my head, I put way too much pressure on myself that I do not need to do. As Amanda said, pressure is a privilege, and that's something I've actually been working on myself. So I always tell myself no expectations. It's something my fiance and I work on pretty like hard on reminding ourselves when we are going into bowling, especially.
Yeah. Trying to like, I have not made a cut before. It's not an easy thing to do, as I remind everyone, like the ones I coach and the kids coming up. So like, there's always that desire to make a cut, and it would be kind of nice from the first cut to be the one at home. But I am still really focusing on like the execution over results right now. Just making sure it feels good during and then leaving the event, like being proud of what I did and taking notes, right? Like what thoughts came up and what wasn't I equipped to handle in those situations, and what was I'm thinking like it would be nice to like a 2000, like the 250. Like when I was in my prime, which I'm going to be back in my prime one day, but so I say it with kindness, but I used to average like 250 every time I went to a youth tournament, and I haven't been able to do that since I've been an adult, because being an adult is hard. So it'd be nice to figure out how to do that again, and obviously one step at a time. So
yeah. The thing that sticks out with me about both of you, just listening to you talk, is just the emphasis you put on taking care of yourself mentally in the game. Like we all go to the lanes, we practice, we throw balls, we do all of that. But like Jennifer saying, like, me and my fiance work on like not putting expectations on myself and just allowing it to be there. You saying, I'm not in my prime right now, but I will get back to it. Like I say that with kindness to myself. Like just the grace and the like care that you take in thinking about the mental side of the game as well, and fostering and building that piece is just so huge. And I think sometimes we forget about building that back piece as well, that like you're not going to have the results skill wise on the lane unless you take care of that other piece, right? And both of you do, it sounds like, a really good job of prioritizing that when you're thinking about the game. Like neither one of you came out and said right off the bat, well, I want to score 2050. Like that was secondary to, I want to make sure that like I'm leaving proud of how I played, and that I'm, you know, not setting the expectations, and that I'm just executing my shot, and like all of that. Like it really stands out in your messaging.
Took a lot to get there. Like being a family growing up around bowling was the main topic all the time, right? So it's about,
can't get away from it.
You gotta find ways to keep yourself sane. And if you're always worried about how you're performing and how you're being compared, or like standing out, like every day's a different day, a different battle. So it's just about how do you every day remind yourself about why you bowl. It's not to beat yourself up because you didn't do it, like perform at the highest. It's because of, like she said, like the community, the people, the
love for the game.
Yeah.
Wanting to see the longevity of the game, wanting to see it for our future children, kind of thing.
Yeah. Using
I think
sport
that
as a way for like self-growth, like give yourself goals. And
yeah. And I think that stands out too, just in how you guys approach the Manitoba Open, planning it, right? And thinking about how can you make it better? How can you make it bigger? How can you draw more people in, right? It's how can we make that a longevity thing for the game?
For sure.
Yeah. The tournament that we ran last night for the last sponsor standing was actually something as well for the longevity of the game. It was so that the sponsors sponsors could see the competitiveness, the competitive side of it, so that they can continue wanting to support this event, because they're giving the opportunity of an event like this to run as well.
Yeah. And experience it. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a cool idea.
It was neat seeing sponsors, because most of them aren't bowlers.
Yeah.
So it was neat seeing them in a competitive aspect. You can see in competitive bowling, some of them were already doing they were already swinging their arms back and doing fist pumps and screaming.
They're so into it.
And just that. Working and being at the bowling alley so much, you get the opportunity to see so many different walks of people at different stages of life come in and just enjoy bowling in different ways, right?
I work a full-time job, and I also work a full-time job. I kind of work 2 full-time jobs, as people say it, but I love the aspect of getting to work at the lanes because of the community and the bowlers, and you get to see the love for the game, and you get to see just randoms walk in and have so much fun, whereas my other job, it's a lot more serious, so you don't get to see that.
Yeah. And you have families come in of all different ages, or coworkers, and they're always everyone's able to participate in the bowling and participate in just having a good time being around each other. And the sponsor thing was such a unique, but it was so cool. We did a last man standing event with the sponsors. So we had 12 of them being there. So we did some cuts after every so often, and there was 2 ties. And these ties were at
there was 12 and 6 got cut, and the 6th and 7th tied. And it was over 150 average, kind of thing. And it was the best thing ever for them.
And it's just the reminder of how even these people aren't bowlers, but it was still enough that the environment and being involved in this event brought out the bowling spirit that we all love into these people, and just the reminder that at the end of the day 10 frames, it still can come down to 1 ball, and and it did twice. It was crazy.
It would have been neat to if they went into work today, what they were saying about last night, right?
Yeah. The person that was there from Wet Sales and Distributions, she was because they ended up making it to the very last cut, the final 2, and I guess all day she was trying to convince, or all week she was trying to convince someone to go represent them, and everyone's no. So they ended up having I think her husband
Her
came
husband came.
and bowled, and he ended up making it to like the final two. So she kept like updating her team's work chat, like
That's
look at what you
awesome.
guys are missing. Like, look at
And
what
which
you got."
sponsor won?
WHS Heavy Haul Transport.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Haul.
transportation company out of BC, and her daughter bowls out of Manitoba, Ali Bercier.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
bowling in the event this weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Amazing.
So
Well,
she had a little advantage because she was like a bowler compared
But
to
she
the
did get a
rest.
negative 45 handicap, so she
Yeah.
did really well.
fair.
And it was
Yeah.
crazy in the finale because this guy, like, who's not a bowler against the bowler, comes out and throws a double off the hop, like just
Just the drama.
just gets rid of the like 45 pin advantage.
I think she actually tied it. Like they both did double, and then she went 3-pin spare, and he went 3-pin and almost spared it too. Like it was almost like they were mirroring each other. Like he threw the 3-pin over to the 2-pin, and it just like danced around.
Wait.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
spared a 3-pin. Then score ended up being like 204 to 188. Like
It was very close.
Wow.
considering
Cool.
one wasn't a bowler, it was like the competitiveness and like just the vibes, and all the sponsors stuck around and like cheered to the end, and it was just
I
It
love
was a
that.
great event.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's cool. Well, I hope that your tournament this weekend is not only successful just in the running and the planning of it, but also successful for both of you on the lanes. And good luck.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
good luck, ladies.
Thank
you.
you.
And thanks for taking some time to join us tonight. You know, it's a busy time with everything coming down to the wire, but we appreciate having you on.
No problem. We appreciate the invite. We were
Take
care.
happy to get out of the other podcast.
Yeah.
Hook up, and then our-
We'll save you from
we're
bowling
like-
anytime.
We're like, Erin, can we throw a wig on you? But
See you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
All the
Bye.
best.
you too. Take care.
We are at the end. Podcast
Great
26.
podcast.
Yeah. I had on our like cheat sheet that there's Pro League this weekend, but there's not. So it's a good thing that I didn't put the teams there or anything, but there's no Pro League this weekend. So if you are usually one to check it out, instead you could check out the Manitoba Open feeds. They will have their live streams going, like they said. So that will be something you can check out on Sunday morning to catch the finals and see who's made it into that top. It'll be good.
I love that. And then next podcast, everybody can look forward to Katie and Tracy jingle to
Yeah.
start
It's our holiday episode.
the tradition. I can't wait.
We'll have to see what we can come up with. December 18th, you'll catch us. I'll be at the Christmas concert before and then podcasting it up.
That's perfect.
Thanks everyone for hanging out with us on this Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Good luck if you are at Manitoba Open.
Good night, everyone.